Thank you everybody for coming this evening for the public meeting for the La Colina Sewer Main Pump Station project. My name is Brad Rare. I'm one of the design engineers on the project, and I'm going to be going over tonight just the purpose of why we're here, what the purpose of the project is, a little bit about kind of the history of the pump station itself. I'm going to introduce the city staff that are here so that the faces can be associated with the names when you start getting notifications. And I'm also going to kind of talk about some of the traffic impacts that can impact some of the stakeholders that live in and around this area. So the purpose of tonight's meeting is really to inform the public about the purpose of the project and how anybody will be impacted, as well as give city staff an opportunity to hear some of the concerns of the residents and schools that are located along La Colina and North La Cumbra roads. So I'll start by introducing Lisa Arroyo, who is a supervising civil engineer and worked on the design portion. My name, again, is Bradley Rare, and I was a project engineer that worked on the design. We also have Heidi Bronger, who is, thank you, Heidi, who is one of our construction project engineers. We also have Peter Harmer, who's a public works inspector, who will be working on the project as it's constructed, and Tim Gash, who is a supervising engineer who is out of the room right now, but he will also be probably involved as part of the project. And then I also have Herman Escalante, who is one of our maintenance staff at El Estero, who happens to also maintain the lift station. So we have people here who are knowledgeable about the project. So next slide. Thank you. So the La Colina pump station was installed in 1957. The original existing 8-inch cast iron pressurized sewer main is still in existence and in use today. Luckily, we haven't had too many issues with it, but with an aging infrastructure like that, we are getting concerned about the reliability of it, especially since it pumps about 400 gallons per minute on a daily basis and serves about 140 parcels in the area. And so the total project cost to install a new section of 8-inch HDPE or high density polyethylene pipe is going to be about $750,000. And as of right now, we're estimating that the construction will probably start in October 2014 and last for about 4 months, given all the holidays and possible rain days that we'll experience this year. So to go over the project location, we are right here at Bishop Garcia Diego High School, and the pump station is right across the street. It's going to extend down La Colina Road about 15 to 2,000 feet, and then take a right-hand turn and go down North La Cumbra towards State another 1,000 feet or so, another 1,500. So as you can see, there are a lot of properties along that area that will be affected, including a couple schools, and so that's why we wanted to hold the meeting, to make sure we had everybody informed on kind of the impacts. So like I said, our schedule, we're expecting to be able to award a contract in September and start construction in October of this year. And depending on the progress and the contractor's ability to get it constructed, we will be hopefully completing construction by February of 2015. For this project, we set working hours for 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. to avoid peak traffic times. Some night work, we are planning on having a contractor possibly do some night work in front of the pump station and in front of your driveways to avoid disruption during school hours, as well as peak traffic, and just make it a smoother project for everybody. And residents and schools should not expect really any issues with their sewer service during the project. However, you know, things always come up during construction, but our contractor will be there to remedy it as much as possible. So this construction site's a little different than some other construction sites you may have seen around town. We would call this more of a rolling active construction site, like a water main replacement, where the contractor is going to be doing about, what we're expecting is about 100 feet of pipe replacement each day, or pipe installation each day. And so you'll notice that it will roll down the street or traverse the street as it goes down what we imagine would be start here at La Colina and go up towards North La Cumbra. The contractor is going to be required to maintain a 10-foot wide driving travel path throughout the project, so the road will not be closed down to through traffic. However, there might be some short delays due to that restricted drivable path and not having both directions if they can't maintain the 10 feet. But before we get started with construction, you'll start noticing lighted message board signs alerting the public who drive through here normally, as well as your parents and your and residents in the area that the contractor will be starting, and that'll be about 2 weeks before they mobilize to the site. So I included this picture because I think it does a good job of showing you how what the construction site's going to look like. So they'll most likely be going down one side of the road, and then at one point they will switch to the other side for a little bit, but it should allow for through traffic most of the way. Like I said, short delays may be experienced due to the equipment and trench in the area. Emergency access, though, will be maintained at all times, so you shouldn't have to worry about any emergency vehicles not being able to get through. And then the sidewalk will be at least maintained on one side of the street for access. We won't be shutting down both sidewalks. So we've included some frequently asked questions that we thought residents or you guys would want to ask. And so really the first one is, what's the purpose of the project? Why are we installing the sewer main? And it's really to alleviate and reduce the dependence on an existing cast iron force or lift pressurized sewer main that was installed with the lift station, and that's a single point of failure for our pump station. So we want to install a second one to provide a redundant system so that in the case that a problem occurred with the first one, we would have a second one to switch to and avoid more construction on the street. So will your service be affected? It's not anticipated. However, the contractor will be going out and opening up a trench, and there will be laterals that they will be encountering, or service laterals they'll be encountering. And so flushing the toilet will still, be possible. A contractor may come talk to you and ask, for a reduction in your usage of water, but not necessarily cut you off completely. So, can emergency vehicles get to your house? Yes, they will be able to get to your house and provide their services at all times throughout the project. Will I be able to get in and out of my driveway? That's one where, yes, you will. However, there might be a couple times where you might experience a short delay if the contractor needs to move some equipment as they're moving around and doing their day-to-day construction activities. So please be patient with them for that. And as we're trenching down the street, there will be some noise throughout the project. We're going to try and have the contractor do it at the least inconvenient times. However, we will make sure the contractor does not start noisy operations before 8 a.m. in the morning, or 8 a.m. So, so for the project information, we just want to let you know that there are a couple places and sources you can get this information, one of which is our website at santabarbaraca.gov/engineering. That will allow you to get to this page, which has a recording of this video. It also has links to our major construction project maps, which will allow you to get updated weekly schedules, have a better idea of when they're coming, and be well informed throughout the project. In the contract, we also have our contractors required to provide door hangers for residents and businesses along in the immediate vicinity of the project, and so you'll at least have a 72-hour heads up that they will be in front of your property. So then, once again, 2 weeks prior to the construction, like I mentioned, we're going to have lighted message boards that will be able to notify most traffic around the area, but in the vicinity of this project, we'll also be sending out a pre-construction notification letter that will include a fact sheet on contact information and who you can expect to see out on the project, and a couple other brief pieces of information. But like I said, construction should start in October, and if anybody should have any questions prior to then, you can definitely contact me. My information's up here, and I have business cards tonight too if anybody needs to get a hold of me. So Thank you very much all for showing up.